So guys, I hope you're excited about today. Let's go ahead and do it. I made up some slides, not me, Megan. Let's not lie about that. And I have 15-step validation process that's going to help you today to get you from product idea, from potential product, to be able to limit the kind of risk. And if you go through this 15-step validation process, you're going to be, I believe you're going to be as safe as possible, or as safe as you can be. And at the same time, you don't need to have those 15-step letter by letter. Like, you don't need to have 15 checkpoints for all of them have to match. If you have the max you can, is the best. So if you have 15 point, you need to make sure that if you have, like, for example, 10 that really match your criteria, you'll be able to divide the 10 by 15 and you'll be able to get a percentage, and you'll be able to work with that 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%. I always say there's no perfect product, and do not expect that when I tell you 15 validation step process, that means all of them have to match. They're not going to match all of them. You're going to have a big percentage, maybe 9, 10, 11, 12. The more you have, better it is, but the more you get, better it is, but you need to work on your percentages. So if you have 70%, or let's say 50 to 70%, that means is medium to medium kind of success. If you have 70% and higher, that means you actually have a high potential product that really could work, and you'll be able to do very well with it. So work on that, work on your percentages. Anything below 50 or 60%, I wouldn't do myself. Anything over 70%, yes, I will do it, because the things that are going to be different are going to be little points that you can maybe adapt, or you can do better with them. So I'm going to share all of them with you today. And also, next validation process, which is going to include the keywords, and that's going to help you a lot. And I'm telling you, if you combine them both, it's going to be really, really good. I'm just going to be upfront with you with this product validation process. I'm going to show you with the 15 steps. I promise you, with only this, what I'm doing, I cannot guarantee anybody anything. And I'm very clear of that from the beginning, because everyone has different budget, everyone has different work ethics, everyone has a different mentality, a different way of thinking about a product. So I cannot give you guarantee, but I can tell you with this process, I have been launching, let's say, almost 85% to 90% success rate just because of that process. We're going to add another step for a process, which is I learned from a friend of mine, which is I used to do it, but I used to do it within 5 competitors instead of 10. But now we stretched it to 10 competitors, which is really going to be fine. I know now it just sounds like a different language. It sounds like what language I'm talking, but when we get there, you will understand it. So let's go ahead and let's look into it. So you have the slides here. I hope you guys seen it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about product research is the key, as we know, and we went through all the past modules and we showed you how to find products. I really believe this course has the most product research methods out there. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I have gave you every possible way of finding a product, and I explained it in depth. If anything that you don't understand, please come back to me, or go ahead and leave in the Facebook group, please, and I will answer every question that you have. Now, the second thing, once you have a potential product, is product validation. Product validation is very, very important. It's 15 steps. At the end of the session, we're going to have, hopefully, by the end of this day, we're going to have a sheet, Excel sheet, for you to have as a checklist, and you'll be happy with it. So now, let's talk about the 15-step validation process, and they're not in particular order. Now, we need to worry about the age of the product. So how many years the product has been in the market, and minimum has to be 2 months. So what does that mean? That means if I go ahead and look at potential market or potential product, which is, I'm going to share my screen and show you everything after I finish all the 15 steps. We're going to go through them in depth. But if you have a product that you're trying to validate, you're going to validate your product based on competitors, based on their market, based on their demand. So when you do that, when you choose your competitors, you need to make sure that you choose a competitor who have been in the market for a long time, or at least 3 or 5 people, 3 to 5 competitors are being in the market for a long time, that at least they have 2 months old listings. Why is that important? Because you want to make sure that the product is just not a trend, it's not something just happening came up out of nowhere, and you don't know the full picture. Because we always, as I always tell you guys, I need to look at the product from last year. If I have last year data, then I'll be able to predict this year data. Or if I have last year data, I can compare with the year before, and I'll be able to see how consistent the product is selling during what season, during what the price. And I can do a lot of things that I'll be able to help me to predict what kind of products I would like to do. So for example, you guys know I'm building now a brand new brand in toys, and this specific toy that I'm looking into, I had to make sure that the product age or the product of competitors have been there for a long time. So I have 3 competitors that are been in the market for over 2 years. And I was able, for me, easier to say, hey, listen, this guy was doing very well last year, and he was selling, let's say, around 60 units or 70 units or 1,000 units per month. And I'll be able to predict, hey, listen, this year, he was doing still 1,200. That means the market is going a little bit higher. But you need to base your data or your criteria on a listing that already been in the business for a while, and to make sure that you're really reading the data correctly. Don't forget, it's a big investment you're putting in. You want to make sure that you're reading your competitors right, because that's your data. They have proven the market for you. So you need to make sure that you really check them and make sure they're not all brand new. And usually brand new products, you're going to see them like as seen on TV, or you see this headlamps that coming now for the garage. You're going to see stuff like that happening. All of a sudden it's like, oh my God, a guy he's just been launching for 2 months, making $100,000. But most likely what's going to happen, competition is going to come in and he's going to fall right away. So you don't want to get into this kind of new niches that are very popular because of a trend or because of something. So age of the product is very important, and check your competitors. Number 2, you need to make sure when you check those competitors, and which is I'm going to teach you 5 to 10 competitors of yours, you need to make sure that they have consistent BSR. BSR means bestseller rank. A bestseller rank is indication or indicator of the sales velocity of a specific product. So if I have a low BSR, 1,000 BSR, that means they're selling way much better than someone who has 15,000 BSR. So lower the BSR, better it is. And also, if we check our competitor and they have consistent BSR, that means they have consistent sales. And that's very important for me. So I will check the whole data. If the person has 1 year data, I'll check the whole year and see how the BSR is going. If it keeps going down, that means the sales are very good. And when it goes up, I would like to know why it went up. Is that because of the season? Is that because of the product is slow demand for that specific season because maybe holidays, or maybe, holidays, I'm talking about summer vacation, or it could be something else with it. So what is it? So you want a consistent BSR as much as possible, but you don't need to be very picky about it. So for example, if I have a product that I'm aiming for 5,000, if it goes to 7,000 for once, it's not a big deal. If it goes from 5,000 to 50,000, then I have an issue. But 5 to 7, 5 to 10, 5 to 10, that goes back again to 3, 2, that's good, which is I'm going to share with you how I look at it, which is all of you, we're going to use Helium 10, or you have Keepa you can use, or Camel, to be able to see consistency of the BSR. Number 3, we need to look at market depth. Market depth is very, very important. I want to make sure that multiple successful sellers are selling in that specific niche, not only dominated by one person. So when I go ahead and look at my results for that specific keyword, for that specific product, I want to make sure that I have all the sellers, the 10 or 15 sellers on the top, they're all making money. There's nobody's favoring one brand over the other. And that's going to help me a lot to say, hey, if I come in as a newbie or as a new product to the market, or as a new competitor, I'll be able to compete with them as long as I get the right reviews, as long as I get the right amount of ranking for multiple keywords, I'll be able to do it. So this is going to prevent you from getting into a market that's dominated by one brand because they've been there for a long time. And at the same time, you don't want to be in a brand that only specifically selling only for Nike. Like you go into shoes and you see Nike is dominating the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th spot, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure you have multiple successful sellers so you can become one once you decide to launch your product. Number 4, you need to look at competitors' listings. Competitor listings are very important. And for example, for the brand I'm launching, this is one big thing for me because all competitors listing, they're lacking a lot of things. So they have a lot of room of improvement and to have an edge on them, because every person, every listing, which is for me, luckily that niche, I'm competing with 6 competitors who are selling the same product as me, but I have much better quality product, a little bit modified. I differentiated it. It's what's happening is that their picture sucks. Their bullet points are not good. Description is bad. Enhanced brand content is very bad because the images are really bad, really bad. And I don't think they're bidding enough. I don't think they're doing good marketing for the product, but it's selling. Why? Because that's only the best available in the market. So for me, I look at the competitors as one of the steps for me to improve myself and to make sure I can have an edge only by doing the listing itself, competing on listing, on images, on bullet points. For sure, we add more things. We're going to talk about differentiation later on, but this is one of the things. Number 5, which is going to be a price consistency. This is very, very, very important. Same price average for a long time. Now, price consistency, guys, a lot of times we get into a high. For example, we check and this happens a lot in the Q4. You're going to see the prices really rise up a lot because demand is high. So when you have high demand and lower supplies, the price goes high. If it goes high and you do research during that specific time when this product is really high in season, you'll see it's like, oh my God, this product sells for $50 and I can source it for $10. And you go ahead, source the product, come back, and all of a sudden you see the product price dropped after December, after Q4 to $30. And now you're in a bad situation because all the calculation was based on a different price or different season. So that's why checking the consistency of the price, which is we can see from Helium 10 or Keep a Chart or Camel, you'll be able to make sure that the price is not changing. You want to make sure that the product that you check in, it has consistent price, or even if it goes up by $1, goes down by $1, it goes maybe consistent price at $30, all of a sudden drops down to maybe $25 for 1 day or 2 days, then goes back up. It's okay. But as an average, you want to make sure the price, it's really good price that you can be profitable from. Very, very, very important. Very, very important. And this is one of the mistakes I did when I launched my first product, which was a 3D pen filament. The price at the time when I searched the product was around September and October, I believe. It's been a long time, but around October. And what happened? The price was too high. So when I sourced the product, I was very comfortable to get a higher price item or higher cost of product, which has got me in trouble when I launched it, when everyone started lowering the price. So very, very, very important to check that and do not sleep on it. Number 6, product reviews. We're going to talk about quantity and quality of the reviews. It's a great way for differentiating. I mean, if you look at the reviews, it's a great way for differentiation, but we're not talking about looking at the reviews for differentiation, but the quantity. Now, the quantity, it doesn't matter as much for me. I could have 1,000 reviews, but my rating 3.6 stars. It's not good. Or below 4 stars, not good. Anything over 4 stars, you're good. Anything over 4.5, you're amazing. Okay. So I need to look at the reviews. So for example, the niche that I'm in, which is I'm very happy to validate my own product as I'm going with you again. And as I told you, I'm placing a huge order in the coming weeks, is basically the product reviews. All of them, they have bad reviews because of the quality of the product itself. So some of them have 300, 500, 600, but they're really bad rating. So what I did, I actually looked at them. I was able to see what's wrong with the product and I fixed it. And that's what's going to help you a lot. So look at the product quality, and you don't want to have a product or niche that dominated by people who have, the top 10 or 15 to 15 spots. And the first top 5 spots, they have a lot of people that have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I cannot compete with that. These already set up. I cannot do anything. So you make sure when you get to product quantity that the top competitors, they don't have over 1,000, 2,000 reviews, because it's going to be very hard for you to come in and have some breathing room. Because if they have 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, the other people have 800, 900, it's very hard. If you have on the top 10 to 15, if you have 5 competitors that have at least 200, 300 reviews and still making good money, then we're good. But I wouldn't get into it if I see a lot of them have very, very high quantity of reviews. And also don't forget the quality, the rating. Anything over 4 stars, it's great. Anything below 4 stars, you can compete. Number 7, profitability according to your goal. Here, I didn't put a profit. You need to make sure the product is profitable when you source it. And that gets to our price consistency. You want to make sure the price you're selling the product at, where versus how much you source it plus Amazon fees and everything, it's become profitable. I don't want you to be one of those guys who are just selling the product to make sale without profit. You need to have a healthy profit margin to support your marketing cost and also to support your PPC cost. Now, I said that according to your goal because, as I said, your goals could be different than mine. My goal is going to be different than Nancy, and Nancy's goal is going to be different than Petrus. It's going to be different than Pernilla, different than Monica. All of you are going to have different. So you need to calculate exactly how much you're comfortable with living with. Is it 2,000? Is it 1,000? 3,000? Whatever you want. I put here a goal from 7,000 to 15,000 per month in sales, because if I do 20% of that, it's going to give me $1,400 to $3,000. Okay, so you look at your margins, look at your profitability, make sure you source the product at the right price to make sure that you become profitable. As the rule that I take, doubling. If I source the product for $10, I want to make sure that I make $10 in a profit. Profit margin is going to be $10, or my return on investment is going to be 100%. So spend 10, I make 10 after Amazon fees. Okay, now after PPC and everything, I might end up with $7, $6. I'm okay with it, but I always want to double my money. The game is very simple. Double your money, you'll reach to wealth, and that's what it is. And we're all of us working toward the same thing. Double, 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 doubling your money. The game is very easy when you double, but it's not going to be from a dime. You need to have a little bit of money. A dime, you're going to be beggar in the street just to collect from people is not going to work. You need to make sure that you have enough sufficient starting capital to be able to succeed, and also to be able to double up is going to be much better doubling. And actually, I was talking about that today with my wife. I told her, hey, listen, we put around $30,000 in our RA. Okay, I'm expecting double that money. So 30,000, I'm expecting to make another 30,000. But let's say worst case scenario. Okay, but so far from all my sales, I'm doubling. Let's say 50%, $30,000. Get 50% of that is going to be $15,000 in profit. You see how much that accelerated, how much became way bigger. So let's say 30,000 I start with, make 15,000, that bring me to 45,000. 45,000, half of that is going to be 22 and a half. 22 and a half plus the 45, that's going to bring me around $67,000 and a little bit. Then 67 and a half of it, and you see how it goes. It's going to be doubling, 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 and or you can have 50% margin if you want to. So do that, and I believe you'll be good. Now let's see what happens. Now, number 8, make sure you can sell this product in that specific category. I see that a lot happens. I found a good opportunity. I found in medical equipment. I found in baby feeding bottles, and I didn't pay attention because I am ungated into the big category. As I said, there's big category, that baby, and then under baby, there's a lot of subcategories. You could be gated, or you could not be allowed to sell in those subcategories. So you need to make sure you really can sell on that specific category. How you do that, which is we're going to talk about that also in our copyright for creating a listing. I create my listing ahead of time. So for example, now I'm talking to my supplier, and I would like to get inquired about price of the product, the cost of product, all differentiation, everything. I actually created my listing already. Created my listing, a dummy listing, just to make sure that my listing is not going to be suppressed. And also by creating the listing ahead of time, usually takes 2 weeks, usually 10 to 14 days for Amazon to realize if there's anything wrong with your listing, whether you cannot list the product, or the keyword that you're using are not good, they trigger some kind of issues. So you need to deal with this ahead of time. Maybe hazmat issue as well. So you need to make sure that you're able to sell in that category and you're allowed to sell in it. So create the listing ahead of time is going to improve, or it's going to help you to know if you can sell in this category. Also, the other thing you can do, I haven't done this with a new brand because I already have established account, really well established account. But for beginners, 100%, I will also send an email as a confirmation. Hey, hello, I actually just would like to know if I'm able to sell in this product, which is going to be in this subcategory of that. So category, subcategory, until you see what it is. Then you'll be able to get a confirmation from them to say yes or not. You need to have a written email saying that you can sell the product, which is going to help you later on if you had the product hits the market and all of a sudden say, oh, you cannot sell. It's like, hey, look, I did that. For sure, it's not as easy as I'm saying it. You give them the paper and they say, okay, no problem, John, you got it. No, they're going to go ahead and take you a week, 2 weeks until you resolve it, but you will resolve it at the end of the day because you have some written stuff. Okay, so make sure that you can sell that product. Now, number 9, no big brands. I don't mind Amazon, but in the 5-10 spots. Now, no big brands. Like, for example, you get into toys and all of a sudden you see this keyword that you're competing on is basically Iron Man costume or superhero costumes. And all of a sudden you see, searching that keyword and the top 10 competitors, you see the same competitor over and over. Let's say maybe he's dominating the market, or it's going to be Hasbro, it's going to be Marvels, maybe it could be I don't know, Avengers, maybe it could be big little yikes, it could be Fisher, whatever brand for toys. You can see all of them are dominating the top 10, 15. You cannot compete with that. It's very hard. But if I have 1 or 2, I'm okay. But if I have multiple of them in 5 to 10 spots, I'll keep away from it. Now, Amazon, I'm not worried about it because I know we can do better than Amazon. Even Amazon have an edge over us because they can get the traffic and everything, but good. But still, if they have 5 to 10 spots, I'll need to look deeper. I need to look deeper. For me, if I see 5 to 10 spots, they're dominating that really, really hard, and they have a lot of reviews, and the rating is good, rating is very good, I might say, you know what, there's other opportunity out there. But you need to dig deeper here, okay? So dig deeper and see what's up. No big brands, no Nike, no Reebok all the time, no Adidas. All of a sudden you see 5, 10 spots full with, like I say, shoes, sports shoes, or waterproof shoes. Like you see those now, you see them a lot on Instagram, those waterproof shoes that you go in the water, blah, blah, blah. Imagine if I'm competing on waterproof shoes. And all of a sudden I see Nike, Reebok, Adidas, Under Armour, everyone is there. Good luck competing with that. How can you get there? It's very, very hard, very hard. So for me, I'll keep away from it. Number 10, keyword search volume. I need to find 5 to 7 keyword minimum with 7 to 15,000 search volume as a whole. So now if I have coffee cup and has 30,000, I have coffee cup 20 ounces has 20,000. I'm not counting these. I'm counting the longer tail keyword, which is coffee cup, yellow coffee cup 20 ounces and has 2,000. Then I have coffee cup, long handle, blue, and that's maybe have 2,000. So I need to find 5 to 7 keyword. The longer tail keyword consists more than 3 words that they add up from 7 to 15,000 searches per month. If I do that, we're good. We're expecting, if we have a keyword that has 500 searches, do not quote me on that. I'm just telling you an idea or perspective, is if I have 500 search volume, I'm almost guaranteeing around 1 unit a day. Could be 3/4 of a unit, could be half a unit, but around 1 unit. So if I have 5,000, that means around 10 units a day. If I have 7,000, that could be 12 units a day. So you see how I'm thinking about now? Because once we do our search and we start tracking our keywords, we want to make sure that we ranked on the top 10 positions or 15 position, depending on the market depth, depending on how much sales. I'm expecting to be able to rank on the top for at least 7,000 or 10,000 search volume, from 5 to 7,000 search volume to rank on the top. If I'm ranked for 5 to 7,000, that could mean I'm going to sell 10 to 12 units a day. Okay, so keep that in mind. And also, why having this search volume 5 to 7? Because going to help us to set up our PPC correctly later on with our broad match. Because our broad match, which is we're going to talk about further, but I'm just telling you why I look at that from now before I do anything. Because if I have 5, 7 keyword, which is my campaign need to consist from 4 to 8 keywords max. And if I have those 7 keywords or 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 keywords, whatever the amount that we can find, we'll be able to find way more other keywords. So those 5 to 8 keywords becomes a seed keyword to find more keywords. So really, really, really important for you to find that. And I think all of us, we see that in the market. We see that in the Facebook group. A lot of people say, hey, this product has this keyword for 30,000 searches. And you see everyone, oh my God, you're so awesome. Oh my God, you're so good. All of a sudden this guy fails. Why not? Because he's trying to compete on a big keyword that God help him to get there. He's going to do every launch service out there, rank up, and then he falls down. You don't want that. which is I'm going to teach you how to set up PPC correctly to make sure you index correctly, and also to make sure that you rank in a nice gradual way. Now, number 11, brandability. Build few products around it. So basically, when I look for a product, as I told you, I do not look at one product because it's really doing well. I want to make sure I look at a product that has, I can build a brand around it. So for example, when I told you, like for example, the brand I'm doing right now, I already have, I swear to you, I'm not kidding, I think 5 to 15 products minimum in the pipeline that associate with that specific brand. So that's why I'm in a rush to go ahead and launch 4 products within the same niche. 4, 3 different color and 1 different design. Why I'm doing this? Because I know I still have 6 to 10 other ideas that I want to launch. Because in the brand that I'm building, it has something that I can target kids and toddlers. Then I can target an audience where they are teenagers, and then I can target the adults. So all this progression in each audience segment has its own products and its own tools that I can launch. So that's why you need to make sure when you build the brand, because you're spending money on IP accelerator for getting your brand registry, getting your trademark, getting your logo, getting all this cost up front. You want to make sure that you have a products pipeline that you can feed that brand. And once you have one product that's really successful, you will be able to go ahead and start cross-selling, cross-promoting, which is I'm going to show you how to be able to promote your product. If I'm selling this product, I can promote the second product. If I'm selling this product, I can promote the other one. And you can cross-sell them through your insert card as well. So it's really, really important, because once you get one product running and has a good market, has good depth, you'll be able to feed all this traffic coming to the second product, which is in my supplement. I have one product. I just stayed with one product because, as I told you, I want to prove to people I can do it. Is basically this product now has over 500 reviews. And what happened when I have 500 reviews, actually now I'm launching 2 other products. They're actually going to feed through this. So I'm going to use this listing to say, hey, also check out our new product. I'm releasing the new version, the newest strength. And I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and check out this and that. And also I'm going to say, hey, also, since you are our beautiful customer, I would like to let you know that we have 5% or 10%. If you purchase this product, you can get the second one, the new product, at 10% off. And check the link below, or have the group promotion code in that specific picture as well. So you see how powerful that can be? And imagine if you have multiple listings all matured up, and let's say 3 of them, and each one of them you can promote other products, or promote each other. It becomes really, really, really powerful. Okay? So brand, build the brand. You can go ahead and do an open brand, like I showed you last thing when we're looking at other people. Some of them, they were selling multiple brands, multiple products. You can do that if you want. It's only about money, but understand, with building a brand has a bigger reward, has a bigger, you can make more money, and also you can sell it for way, way, way bigger money, way bigger money. All right, let's see number 12, differentiation. I want to make sure that the product that I am looking at has room for differentiation, whether the listing itself, whether I'm adding add-ons or customization. So if I get a product like this, I cannot sell red pen like this and everyone has the same thing. I want to make sure that if I sell this product, I can add something to it to increase the perceived value. So if I do that, I always aim for 5 to 10% of the product cost to become into customization or into differentiation. So let me back up. Let's say I'm sourcing the product for $10. I can put up to $1 as differentiation or bonus stuff. So for example, if I am, let me get a better example. Let's say I have my phone and this one costs $10. I can put $1 extra, up to $1 extra to differentiate my product. Whether I'm adding the sleeve for free, whether I'm putting plastic protection on the product itself, or if I'm allowed to do it. That's why I don't like customization very much, because it's very too much money molding and you don't know if it works or not. If with the dollar you're able to change something in the product that makes it much better, why not? Okay, so differentiation, as I said. So what we can do is basically add something to product to add more value. Just make sure there's room for differentiation. Now, for example, with the product I'm doing, I saw the listings, they're already sucky. So I know I'm going to do the pictures very well. I'm going to do my video very good. I'm going to do my enhanced brand content, positioning very good, lifestyle pictures, all that lacking. I know I can compete only on that, but I'm not stopping there. So what I did, I went and added more things to the product. For example, in the toys, I added, let's say, an extra item. Let's say I'm selling something for education. I'm adding maybe an ebook a little bit. Ebook is extra. I don't think about ebook as a big differentiation. It's a good lead magnet, but not differentiation for me. But I'm still adding. I'm adding, for example, stickers to it. Maybe I'm adding a different bracelet. Maybe I'm adding something extra to the product to make it more valuable. Okay, I did that. And also I'm doing a new box. I'm making sure that I'm adding different product that enhance the experience of that specific toy. So I'm doing all this together. All this is going to become really, really good. But I didn't go overboard. I didn't go ahead and spend $10 extra when the product cost me $10. I didn't do that. So I made sure that I spent $1, but added a lot of value. So do that, and trust me, you'll be fine. But you need to make sure that you have room for differentiation and you're not selling another garlic press, another apple cutter, or lemon, what's called apple slicer, or whatever it is. Make sure about that. 100% there's room. The other thing, number 13, I will check social media, influencers, confirmation, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook for that specific product. For example, I go ahead and see, I know we always look at the demand within Amazon. So for example, search volume, we're looking at competing listings in the specific market, but I actually take it a little bit further. So we can do, for example, I'm selling, let's say, a rocking chair for kids, and all of a sudden I put rocking chair just in Pinterest. What comes up? Let's see. Is it a lot of listing comes up? That means a lot of demand. Is it a lot of likes? Is it a lot of retweets? Is it a lot of likes in Facebook? Is it a lot of comments in the Facebook? Is it a lot of views in YouTube? I look at that because I want to see how much people are interested in that product. Okay, this is just extra for me, just to say, hey, you know what? There's something there. Like for example, I have a product. I mean, not my product. It's a client of mine, and for the life of us, we weren't able to find this product in Amazon at all. We weren't able to find it. But I was like, okay, where can we get the search volume? We go to look at search volume. We're not able to find anything. This product is brand new, customized. It's like a new patent idea that the guy has. So what I did, I actually went to Pinterest. I went to Pinterest. I went to Instagram. I went to Facebook. And also I went to YouTube. When I went to YouTube and I typed that specific term, I found three videos. Each video had over 1 million views. Over 1 million views. You know what does that mean? That's already confirmed for me. Hey, listen, this product worth pursuing or worth to do the prototype for me to launch it and test it on Amazon and see how much demand is going to be there. And also gave me an idea. It's like, hey, if Amazon sucked and I wasn't able to sell it there, I can use those 3 people, which is regular people, just like me and you. Okay, I'm telling you, like, it's basically a guy in his shed and he's like, hey, did you see what the new invention that I did? It's like, really, I swear to you, it's like exactly like that. And you can reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I got the product mass production. I saw you have a lot of views. Do you mind if we do a giveaway in your channel? Or you can promote my product and get a percentage. Partner up with those people. So that's another way of you to see how much the product has been in the market, how much interest. At the same time, you're going to get a lot of differentiation ideas. I get a lot of differentiation ideas because those people who create videos, they usually want to find you the new twist. They want to go ahead and show you how it's been used. So you'll be able to get a lot of ideas. So for example, for the toy product that I'm into, I went and I searched it and just to look at the social media, what people are doing. And all of a sudden I get a few ideas, which is I actually want to implement for the next order because I didn't do it first because I already had all the stuff that I know what I'm going to compete with my marketing, with my listing, with my add-ons and all the stuff. Actually, I'm going to add to it. That's going to help me for the new listing, which is really, really going to be awesome. So check social media, see what's up, and it's going to help you to think about new ideas and also about demand as a confirmation. Now, also, we spoke about that review ratio, less than 10%. You can little bit go higher to 15%. What I mean by that, for any competitor who sells, let's say 100 units per day, I want to make sure he's not getting more than 10 reviews over the 100 sales. You need to do that. So you'll be able to see it in Helium 10, in the X-ray. They tell you how many reviews they get per day. or per month, comparing to the sales. So if I have 24 reviews and he's selling 1,000 units, that means 2.4%. If he's selling 1,000 units, he's getting 240 reviews, that means 24%. And you need to be sure that a lot of competitors out there from the 10 to 15, not all of them are getting exploding with reviews. That means if you come in, you come with your product to the market, you're gonna suck. Now, what's nice, for example, when I checked my market, I found out, hey, everyone is stuck at 5% review sales to review ratio. That make me feel good. A business that been there for almost 3 years in the market, that's when the data being accumulated. This is when the data start being retrieved by Keepa, by Camel, by using Helium 10. I was found out that, hey, they've been there for 3 years, but they still have 200 reviews. That means their strategy for reviews is not that great. That means if I come in, I do my search, find, buy, I can get some reviews from here and there. I know I'm going to be able to compete. And also, I made sure I check track some of the new competitors who come into the market, and I saw them they're doing phenomenally good with 30 reviews. 30 reviews. So I was feeling a little bit comfortable there to go ahead and do it. So make sure about less than 10%. And I showed you how to look for products. And I told you one of the criteria to look at the sales to review ratio and make sure you're limited to 20, 15%, 10%, 5% until you find the good product. Very, very important point here. You need to make sure that they really follow it right. Number 5, Google Trend. You need to look at the overall picture. Now, Google Trend, it's basically a trend on Google of how many people are searching the specific product, and they can gauge, depending on the searches, how trendy the product is. So if you look at Kim Kardashian, she's high all the way up. But if you look at something, let's say, I don't know, mosquito repeller, you'll see only spike in specific season. Now, I didn't look at Google Trend because Google is not meant for people to buy. It's more about searches. People want to inquire more about research about the product itself, a little bit about where they can find the product. That could change a bit because the mentality on Amazon completely different than Google. Google for research, for people who are just interested in a specific product and specific topic and subject. On Amazon, no. Amazon is about, if they search it, that means they're interested in it and they're willing to buy because their credit card attached to that Amazon. They're attached to their Amazon account. So the mentality is completely different. That's why I do not put a lot of emphasis on Google Trend, because it's more data about searches, not sales. So that's why I check the consistent BSR, I check consistent pricing and everything, because that's more true data. A lot of times I look at a product in Google Trend, it looks like crappy cracker, but when I go ahead and check it into Amazon, it's actually the product is selling very well for during the last 2 or 3 years and have consistent BSR. That's why I don't put a lot of emphasis on Google Trend. But if you're looking for a new product with new customization, you want to see how the market is going up. Is the market going to be good or not? For example, let's say we're looking into a market that just started. Let's say electric cars, okay? Electric cars. And all of a sudden, I want to get into electric cars and I want to see if that business is good or not. And all of a sudden, I see that, you know, in 2013, it started going up a bit. And then starts going up, and the trend is just going up and up. I was like, you know what? That's something I can put my money in, and I think it's going to go very high. But if you get a product that for the past 5 years just flat, and going down, they know it's dying. So it's just going to give you overall, but not the one. I wouldn't pay attention a lot to it. Just, hey, let's see what happens. That's why I put social media influencers even higher than Google Trend. Now, the game might be changed a bit with Google Trend. Maybe the tool is going to be a little bit modified because of Google Shopping, which is now they're encouraging people to sell on their own platform. That could change, but for me now, I put it at number 15. Okay, but could change in the future because, you know, if they're adding and they're competing with Amazon, that it might be a different beast now. So I'm not sure about that. So this is my 15 step validation process.